Hello everyone, welcome to Agriculture with Akshita YouTube channel. Today's class we will discuss about some of the important points related to wheat. Let us start the today's class that is on wheat. Botanical name of wheat is Triticum aestivum and chromosome number is 2n is equals to 42, which is hexaploid in nature. Origin of wheat is Southwest Asia or Turkey. Wheat is C3 plant and also it is long duration plant. Macaroni wheat is known as Triticum durum. Emmer wheat is known as Triticum dicoccum. Wheat ranks first in the world among the cereals both in area and production. Whereas in India, wheat crop stands second position after the rice among the cereals both in area and production. King of cereals is called as wheat. The inflorescence of wheat is spike. Central zigzag axis of wheat grain is called as rachis. Fruit type of wheat is Caryopsis. Spacing of row to row of wheat is 22.5 cm. Most critical stage for irrigation is crown root initiation stage, which appears after 21 days after sowing. Gene which is responsible for dwarfness in wheat is Norin10. The dwarfness of Norin was result of the two recessive genes such as RHT1, RHT2, that is reduced height 1 and 2. These are the genes which are responsible for the dwarfness in Norin. Norin10, which is a Japanese variety isolated by Dr. Norman E. Borlaug in the year 1960 at Mexico. Important mimicry weed of wheat is Phylloris minor. Test weight of wheat seed is 40 grams, whereas the test weight of Phylloris minor is only 2 grams. First man-made cereal is triticale. Triticale is developed by crossing between wheat and rye. DT46 is a variety of triticale. Temperature for germination of wheat seed is 20 to 25 degrees Celsius. The protein content of wheat is 8 to 11%. And the wheat protein is called as gluten. World staple food grain is wheat. Most Indian wheat varieties contain the gene reduced height 1 and reduced height 2. The spike is held inside by the flag leaf. Wheat protein, which is essential for good bread quality and chapati making, is gluten. Triticum aestivum was first introduced in India by Dr. Norman E. Borlaug of Mexico. Moisture content of wheat grain for safer storage is 10 to 12%, whereas the moisture content at harvesting in wheat is 25 to 30%. Triple gene dwarf varieties were released in the year 1970. Export quality of wheat is influenced by kernel bunt of wheat. Dwarfing agent for wheat crop is cycocel. Objectionable weed of wheat is Convolvulus arvensis. Primary roots in wheat that supports and nourishes the plant at an initial stage is called as seminal roots, which are temporary in nature, also called as temporary roots. In wheat, hybridization method Most commonly used is Gujo method. Absolute weed of wheat is Chinopodium album. Very common crop usually intercropped with the wheat is mustard and the planting ratio is 9:1. Biofertilizer used for wheat is Azotobacter, which is free-living and non-symbiotic bacteria. Multi-line in wheat is produced by backcross method or backcross breeding. Wheat variety which is resistant to all the three rust is Chotilerma and Sparrow. Wheat variety susceptible to rust is Agra Local 1. Wheat varieties responsible for green revolution in India are Lerma Sonara 63, Sonara 64 and Mayo 64. In 1963, Lerma Sonara 63, then Sonara 64 and Mayo 64 were imported by the Ministry of Agriculture, that is Sri C. Subramaniam, and released for commercial cultivation. Common bread wheat, which is also called as Triticum aestivum, which is in hexaploid nature, 2n is equals to 42, which is imported species but mostly grown in India. About 87% of the area is under this common bread wheat or Triticum aestivum. Triticum aestivum is introduced in India by Norman E. Borlaug from Mexico. Triticum aestivum is also called as Mexican dwarf wheat. Durum or macaroni wheat, that is Triticum durum, which is tetraploid in nature, 2n is equals to 28, and mainly it is used for sushi or sevia preparation. Emmer wheat, that is Triticum dicoccum, which is also in tetraploid condition, 2n is equals to 28. It is mainly used for upma. Indian dwarf wheat, that is Triticum spirococcum, whereas Mexican dwarf wheat is Triticum aestivum, but Indian dwarf wheat is Triticum spirococcum, which is hexaploid in nature, 2n is equals to 42. Indian dwarf wheat is Triticum spirococcum, which is outdated due to low productivity and susceptibility to the diseases, particularly rust disease. That's why the farmers are not being used this Indian dwarf wheat in India. The highest productivity of wheat it is in Punjab because of the 100% area is under irrigation and the higher dose of fertilizer usage or consumption in that Punjab. Kira method is nothing but when the seeds are dropped by hand in the furrows which are made by country flow. The seeds are sown or dropped by hand behind the country flow, that is Kira method. Whereas Spora method, when the seeds are dropped in furrow by funnel or knife attached to the flow. The seeds are sown in the furrow by funnel, by using funnel, that is Spora method. FIRB method, it is a new method of sowing in the furrow irrigated raised bed and it gives the higher yield compared to the other methods in wheat. CRI, that is ground root initiation stage, which appears 21 days after sowing. In wheat, the transition zone between root and shoot is known as ground root initiation. Duff stage is when the milky fluid in wheat grains turns to harden. That stage is duff stage. This is all about wheat. Thanks for watching this video. Do like, share and subscribe my channel.